And we are live. Looking at 48 hours of the sun.
2018, a crack YouTube unit was sent to social media prison by an algorithm for the crime they didn't commit. These producers promptly escaped from maximum security social media stockade to the internet underground. Today, still wanted by social media, they survive as producers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the Smash team.
All right, no screwing around today. We're running very late, and there's a lot of stuff to get to, so let's do it. We see no sunspots, nothing but coronal holes, and fairly weak activity out of the sun. Let's look at 48 hours and 171 angstroms also. Here's the last 2 days at 171 angstroms. We do see some filamentary activity there on the eastern limb. So let's go back and look at 304 angstroms. And some interesting images there. Not a whole lot going on. Solar activity quite low. Let's move on to other stuff like the real-time solar wind, which has not refreshed. What is going on with that? All right, there we go. So we see the BZ has approached the zero line here, coming off of a highly negative trend there in the past few hours. And the phi angle has jumped up to a positive area around 325. 8.6 protons per cubic centimeter is the solar wind density. And solar wind speed has trended down a bit in the past few hours to 369 kilometers per second. So pretty nominal solar wind there. Nothing too interesting to comment on. Let's look at magnetosphere movies next. We will let these all play through as this is the data archiving section of the video. We're less than a month from our 1-year anniversary of doing a space weather video every single day. If you have any interesting ideas for celebratory video, please leave a comment. Anyway, here's the density. I mean the velocity. Pretty smooth. Couple perturbations coming in there. Here's the density. For you new viewers, remember that this scale is showing low density as white and high density as blue. Don't let it confuse you, as it may seem counterintuitive. And next we'll look at the pressure. And we see much greater pressure in the bow shock than on the magnetotail side. Sun side showing much higher pressure today. And thanks for joining us, McCastiel 2112. A guy cool enough to put a Rush reference in his YouTube name. Next, we'll look at the ground magnetic perturbations here. It looked like there were some. I don't think anything too extraordinary, but we let these play through daily. Kind of a pulsation going on there at the South Pole. And on the north side, the main perturbations are over the Canadian portion, not over the Siberian portion. Here's a view from the global perspective. And we see the South Pole excursion continuing toward Western Australia into the southern Indian Ocean. As the poles migrate. Shout out to Dean Beards. Let's look at the total electron content forecast before we go to some other stuff. Electron levels are pretty moderate right now. Nothing to really write home about here, folks. Your GPSs will generally be working as expected. Errors are actually quite low, even around the equator. So pretty low electron content forecast now. Check out smAsho if you haven't yet. We don't have our mission posted there yet. However, I'll read it to you. It's to study and report on the ongoing assist study and report on the ongoing formation of a unified theory of physics. Also to raise the public awareness of the relationship between space, weather, and Earth effects, to connect and consult to media organizations, to demonstrate cutting-edge proof-of-concept solutions to problems, to publish scientific papers, of which there are 3 in the works already, to assist mankind by advancing the study of predictive phenomenon, and adapt no matter what the adversity is, and to not be ossified in our beliefs. Please visit the links in the description. Thanks, patrons and other donors. Every little bit counts. Also, check out our sponsor for cycling, theveloshop.net. My cousin's thinking about getting a bike. I'm going to recommend that he go for the Versa Speed 40. He needs a little commuter rig there to make his life around the college campus a little easier. How about some disc brakes? Looks like a good call to me. Under $600. And it's a Shimano drivetrain, I think, folks. Anyway, check out theveloshop.net. Free professional bike fit with all bike purchases. Now, we are human billboards. This is what I looked like in, I think that's the year 2001. Probably about, I don't know, that was very close to the beginning of my road career there. I rode for a different team then. We look nothing like this now. And we are looking for corporate sponsors. So if you know any, or if you are a corporate sponsor, please email me, smashomash@gmail.com. And we might be able to get you on the jerseys this year yet. It's theoretically possible. Let's look at the Lasco C2 here at Solar Ham as we click the wrong link. And I don't know what's going on with that. It opened a new tab against my wishes. How about a little Mercury emerging from behind the sun? And there goes Mercury. And it looked like there was a coronal mass ejection again yesterday, folks. Also headed to the west of Earth. Didn't look like a halo. Let's let that play through one more time, though. Right as Mercury vanishes behind the sun, there's a coronal mass ejection. Looks like it's headed very far west of the Earth. And what the heck? Let's let that play through again. The final image on the C2 there shows Mercury on the left side of the frame. Did I miss that? Oh, there it goes. All right, cool. All right, let's just move on here as there is still quite a bit of stuff to cover. All right, like I said, 10.7 centimeter radial flux has dropped down to 68. Very low solar minimum levels here. And spaceweather.com is talking polar mesospheric summer echoes and noctilucent clouds. Read up about that if you're not familiar. I would also note the thermosphere index is quite cold, just not quite as cold as it was in 2009 and 2010, or 2008 and 2009 rather. Anyway, let's look at some more data here at spaceweathernews.com. Make sure we're refreshed, as it is refreshing to refresh if you haven't refreshed. X-ray flux is flatlined. Magnetometers, we still got some crossings here showing disparate data between the 14 and the 15, the GOES 14 and GOES 15 spacecraft. At least the GOES 14 is back on the graph today, and for that, we thank you. And let's see if that coronal mass ejection is on the Enlil signet spiral yet. I doubt that it is. I think it is. You be the judge. Leave a comment. Leave a comment if you haven't done so. Please like and share and subscribe and get us unshadow banned, as if that's possible. And we see the GOES 14 is returning electron flux information again also. A small dip in the electron flux here, not as much of a dip as yesterday or the day before. Very minor charging hazards over Mexico and Central America, nothing to worry about. And the F2 layer is looking pretty normal, a little bit on the discharge side, on the night side. Nothing too extraordinary going on there except weak solar activity. Auroras, there's your aurora forecasts. And let's continue on here at a breakneck speed. Here's the gong too, showing an hour and 40 minutes and nothing too exciting happening in the local heliospheric environment either. Next, we'll get a little farther spaced out to stereo A. And we probably won't be able to see the coronal mass ejection on its coronagraph here, but let's check anyway. And that occurred on the 21st, folks. So if we see that, there was some evidence of that plasma plume that you see in this portion of the screen here. Looks like it vanishes, however, does not head toward the Earth. So there's no need to go buy 50-pound bags of rice at Walmart, at least not today. Although if you're prepping, don't let me stop you. All right, here's the location of your planets. We thoroughly encourage our viewers to know the difference between Uranus and a hole in the ground. All right, the Epic Pen is back, folks, and it works just fine if you use the right software with it. And when I say the right software, I mean a functional browser like Brave. And let's continue on before we are old and gray, as we have got to get out of here rather quickly, as we are massively late. Here's a location of your stars, planets, etc. If you get up before sunrise, check out the Moon, Saturn, and Jupiter. Quite a conjunction going on up there. Also, follow me on Instagram. It's a little bit more personal. Here's some of yesterday's shenanigans. Yes, some Tuesday ride should lead us to the Velo shop. Check out this. Yes, I actually went to the shop yesterday, folks. I think I actually took video of the shop. I forgot to film while inside the shop. A little bird told me that certain rides may start early if nobody attends them. Anyway, and we are 1 minute away. That's what our team uniforms look like nowadays. And I know you don't get a very good view, but yeah. Oh, what's that? And there's the shop. Goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, Instagram, not constantly space weather stuff like our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on Twitter if that makes it easier for you to share our videos with your friends, family, and foes. Also follow us on Facebook for maximum censorship and shadow bans. That's facebook.com/smashomash, twitter.com/smashomash, and also minds.com/smashomash, the social media that will not censor you. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. We're at 1,359 subscribers. Oh, man. Yeah, so we make the videos because nobody else makes videos such as this. And for all you spaced out folks out there, cheers. Looks like an earthquake downtick here. 5.1 at Peru, magnitude that is. Here's a 4.5 at Vanuatu at depth. 5.1 in Indonesia. As this area has been getting pummeled. 4.7 in Solomon Islands. 4.9 at the Kermadec Islands. Shout out New Zealanders. Let us know if you felt that one. 4.6 at Chile. Northern Marinara Sauce Islands. 4.6 at the Mariana Islands, that is. It looks like a series of earthquakes across the central U.S. there, as snow continues to fall in places like Wyoming and Colorado. Here's a 5.6 in India. .4 in Taiwan. Let us know, Taiwanese viewers, if you felt that one. Here's a 4.7 in Indonesia. 4.5 at Argentina at depth. Heads up South America for a larger quake at the surface. 4.4 in Guatemala. 4.6 in Chile. No other quakes to be concerned with. What the heck happened there? All right. Let's look at pressure maps. We'll just let this play through. Keep in mind, folks, anomalous low pressure systems that skirt boundaries are a warning sign for earthquakes, especially when there's been a deep quake. May sound crazy, but you too can predict earthquakes. To quote Kurt Angle, it's true. It's true. All right, let me get to the comments here while this plays. Thanks for joining, everybody. We appreciate you leaving comments. Cheers, Roger Anderson. I don't recognize you. If you're a new viewer, thanks very much. I can say grand solar minimum much, but I don't say grand solar minimum much. I just say solar minimum. All right. Oh, yeah. Humans control the entire climate. I have to see these comments every day. People that don't understand anything about the atmospheric physics. Humans control the entire climate. I hear it all the time. It's so ridiculous. Complete nonsense. Yeah, my planting's delayed massively. I mean, the squirrels were trying to have sex yesterday, and they're like a month behind too. Even the squirrels are having some late planting. Gray squirrels, that is. We also have red squirrels, but I didn't. Those are a little bit more elusive. All right, let's shut down windy.com. By the way, windy.com has a fantastic mobile app as well. It's free, and you can look at a lot of stuff on here. One of my favorites is snow depth. And for some reason, I can never freaking find it. There we go. And look at the pile of snow, which is continuing to fall in Wyoming and Colorado right now. Check it out. Is ski season ever going to end? Man, oh man. Oh, the zoom is quite frustrating, folks. Don't worry, we're not going to rage quit. Holy crap. 46.3 inches there. 54.2 inches there. Shout out Colorado Rockies. Son of a beehive. Look how hot it is in Greenland, folks. Look how hot it is in Greenland. Oh my gosh, Greenland is melting. Sound the alarm bells. How long until we can get Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez elected U.S. president? What is she, 30? Oh, only 5 more years, and we can elect some brilliant genius to cool Greenland down, since it's so hot there with the more than 5 meters of snow from coast to coast. Volcano rundown. Sakurajima back on the list, exploding and producing a 6,000-foot plume Takono, 7,000-foot plume Revenador, 16,000-foot plume, and Sabankaya. Don't try to hop over that with a pogo stick. You will turn to part of the atmosphere. You'll become part of the atmosphere. Here's a U.S. Doppler radar, and like I said, Wyoming, also South Dakota, Nebraska, Montana, Utah, Colorado, even some New Mexico, Nevada, and California all getting snow on May 22nd. 2,500-mile long line of storms here, causing massive flooding, all kinds of other crap. And here's a story from AccuWeather about the tornadoes that struck Oklahoma and Texas. Widespread destruction, flash flooding, etc., as the central U.S. gets hit over and over again with severe weather. Some more stuff here, as there is still quite a bit of stuff to cover, and we are trying to get done. Here's a lightning map. If you're not familiar with it, check out lightningmaps.org. Shout out Arkansas. Stuttgart. Stuttgart, you're going to be hearing thunder. I'm going to show you a water vapor map real quick here. You see a convergence zone here north of Mississippi. It's coming out of Arkansas. Let's do a zoom in on that spot real quick. Bonus features coming up. Now, I learned how to write computer code in the mid-1980s. In fact, probably more like the early 1980s. And started writing program code in BASIC, something like first grade or so. And which brings us to the define a word section, which I've recently added to the daily space weather videos. And we're going to talk about definition 2, to eliminate errors in or malfunctions of. And so also it would be uninstall the software entirely to remove a concealed microphone or wiretapping device from. But we're going to talk about definition 2, to eliminate errors, as in debug a computer program. Let's use it in a sentence. Dear Google, comma, transcribe this, comma, and debug your software.
Debug.
Your software.
Debug.
Your software. If you're using the Chrome browser, you shouldn't be. It's a piece of crap, and it's been crashing our live streams, which is why we only use Brave browser now. We don't try to use 2 browsers and be fancy, because you are not a product. You are not a product. So the Brave browser is designed to not track you, and these sorts of features also make it run better and more smoothly. If you're not using it yet, well, why not? Also, highly recommend you use DuckDuckGo instead of Google as a search engine, since it doesn't store your personal information ever, doesn't follow you around with ads, doesn't track you when you're in or out of private browsing mode. So take back your privacy and switch to DuckDuckGo. We are going to approach them for a cycling sponsorship soon. They're located in Paoli, Pennsylvania. Practically our neighbors. Next, we'll look at this article on Eureka Alert real quick. We'll leave links in the description after the live stream's complete. Stellar waltz with dramatic ending. We see some metal-only system here. It's a metal-only nebula with no hydrogen or helium. And it's only emitting in infrared bands. And it's a pretty funky nebula, pretty rare object. Discovered by Moscow and University of Bonn. So shout out German and Russian astronomers. Holla, nice job measuring this funky thing. Again, we'll leave links. Let's go to a random transient here. We're going to go to QSOBO 537-441, a Blazar. And check it out. We just did have some very dense transients, a very large series of transients there coming out of that Blazar. Interesting enough to actually do a search for it on duckduckgo.com. Oh, see that? Proof of concept. Well, isn't that a shame? Anyway. Oh, check it out. There is information about this particular Blazar. I'll leave links to that too, because I like you, the viewer. All right. If you're not familiar with Blazars, Blazars are highly active radio galaxies, which we are looking right down the Z field of. So, in other words, this object in the photo with the definition of Blazars would not be a Blazar unless you were located inside of this jet. You have to be looking down the Z field, which is why they look so bright. Anyway, we'll leave links to this article on Universe Today, defining Blazars for you if you're not familiar. One of the weirder objects out there. And, well, I guess I won't get into the weeds and explain anything about it. Yes. One of the papers we're looking at writing this year does involve, well, it's not really a Blazar. It's more of a high mass X-ray binary. And we won't give away anything besides that. Let's look at 2 days from the SDO in 94 angstroms to see there's not a lot going on. So thanks for tuning in, folks. It is time to get out of here at a breakneck speed and probably go ride a bike at a breakneck speed. All right, thanks again, donors, subscribers, etc. Please don't forget to press like and press subscribe and click the notification bell. There is some possible chance that you might actually even get notifications from our channel. It is theoretically possible. So, since it'll never be now again, may the solar wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your veins. And remember, when you're staring at the sun, don't drink, and if you drink, don't drive.